Hey, I'm back doing more videos. I was like, hey, this pandemic thing in quarantine, whatever, I'll do more videos. I just didn't want to. I was lazy, and I just went on to other things. Now I'm back, and I'm gonna become sort of the political quiz guy. Uh, um, I'm doing a slew of political quizzes. Um, I did um the other axes test. What is it called? Oh, 8 values. Yes, 8 values test. And I did the political compass quiz. So now I'm doing a bunch of other ones. I'm doing Sapley values, 8 dreams, 9 axes, 12 axes, discrimination test, left values, center values, right values. I'm doing them all. So we're gonna go start off over here. There are 4 independent axes: proprietary, mastery, individuality, and priorative. So basically, this combines the 8 values quiz format with the um, political compass format with like a sliding little bar thing here format. So, altruity or proprietary. Those with the altruity score, those with higher altruity scores believe that all property, no matter the form of ownership, should be collectivized. This can include information, all forms of money, etc. Okay. Avarice. Those with higher avarice scores believe that all forms of property should be privatized and competed in the market. Those who are dominant within the market economy should thus gain more property. Okay. That's one axis. That's the proprietary axis. The mastery axis is dominant versus insular. Those with higher dominant score tend to want their ideology to spread throughout the world. They think force can be used when spreading an ideology. Insular. Those with higher insular scores tend to avoid forcing an opinion. They would use methods like convincement, propaganda, etc. Okay, now we have the individuality axis, self versus totality. Those with higher self scores believe in the power of the individual. They tend to support an anarchist or egoist government. They believe egoism is what makes humans humans, and it is impossible to avoid such thing. Totality. Those with higher authority scores believe in absolute government. They think an individual has no power at all, and only the state should have power. Stalwart versus hedonic in the priorative axis. So those with higher tradition scores believe that a person is what he is. His or her characteristics can only be dictated by the strong or surrounding environment. Those with higher progress scores believe that a person's personal happiness is the core value of any human. Though not always, they are usually secular or atheist and support different types of communities. Now we're going to go up here to this compass because we were doing these axes. Now we're going to this compass here. So communal versus Darwinist axis. That's communal versus Darwinist over here. Okay. This axis measures the person's political beliefs um, economically. Those with higher communal scores tend to want all property, including tooth brushes. Okay, it's supposed to be brushes, but toothbrushes, brushes, and knowledge to be shared equally among its citizens. Those with a higher Darwinist score tend to want nearly all property to be privatized. Orwellian and egoistic governmental axis. The Orwellian and egoistic governmental axis, that is this over here, Orwellian or egoistic. Orwellian or egoistic. This measures how large the government is in a person's ideal world. Those with higher Orwellian scores tend to want the government to control or monitor every person's life. Those with higher egoistic scores tend to want a world without government that functions on a person's personal interests. Then we get to futuristic versus primal. That's this little slidey deal to the side here. Um, this axis measures a person's cultural beliefs. Those with higher futuristic scores tend to believe that technological advancement will inevitably replace humans. Those with higher primal scores tend to want a world before human existence. Okay, that's a mouthful. And there's the closest match, the same thing as the 9, as the 8 values. So we're going to start, we're going to take the whole test here. And I like how in some of these GitHub tests, not all of them, but some of them have like this I'd go further or this sentence angers me response, which is like a higher than strongly agree. I should be able to control my own property. Yes, certainly agree. The crime of theft should be punished with long prison sentences or the death penalty. Not the death penalty, no, but long prison sentences, sure, I'd certainly agree. The freer the people, the freer the collective. The freer the people, the freer the collective. Interesting. Well, if one person's free, and they have the power to make another person free, and then another person, so on and so on, it can get rolling. So, sure, a collectivist utopia has been proven unsuccessful in the past. I'd go further. I like that response. Well, I like the fact that you have the ability to. My information, my choice. I'd go further. The idea of currency itself is proven unnecessary. This sentence angers me. Not that it really angers me, literally, but yeah. From each according to his ability, each according to his needs. Nope, I disagree with that even more. That's the angers one from. There is no reason to weaken the strong since they worked so hard for their strength. Most of the time they have. A few times there was some inheritance, but you know. Yeah, that one's good. Juche is closest to my ideals. Nope. Fuck North Korea. I'm out. North Korea is worst Korea. If you don't know, there's a YouTuber Drew Durnell, and he has this running joke on his channel about North Korea being best Korea. He always calls it best Korea, which is a hilarious joke, and he always has like a picture of what's his name in the background as a joke. And like if he has a plush like body pillow of him or whatever, it's kind of funny. Um, but in all seriousness, no, North Korea is worst Korea. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth. I'd go further. Basic utilities like knowledge, basic utilities like knowledge and air. I've never heard those referred to as basic utilities. Because I guess knowledge and air should be publicly owned. Knowledge, yeah, air, yes, but knowledge, I don't really know. Publicly owned. Well, air, yes, but knowledge, no. So, disagree slightly. Nukes should be privatized. Okay. Alright. This is going for the, like, are you an ANCAP? This is an ANCAP question. Are you an anarcho-capitalist? Do you believe nukes should be privatized? No. I don't think nukes should exist in the first place. So, I'm going to go with strongly no. It's really not a good idea. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution should be expanded to include any. Uh, Mostly with some caveats for some things that are just really dumb that you really shouldn't like. I don't want to like no tanks, no flamethrowers, no fucking machine guns, no you know anything that's already banned. This probably for a very good reason, and stuff that isn't banned yet should remain that way. So mostly agree with some caveats. Um, the bad circumstances of the weak are the results of their own actions. Yeesh. Um, uh, like the you, my political leanings want to say yes here, sort of. So I'm gonna go with either lightly agree or certainly agree. Not the go further one because I I think that's a little bit too harsh. Um, I'll go with the lightly agree. Mostly, there are caveats. There are exceptions to the rule. Always. Um, there should be competing worldwide organizations. What does that mean? Competing worldwide organizations. There should be competing worldwide organizations. How? Why? What is this question even saying? There should be competing. I like worldwide, not so much. And organizations, are they public? Are they non-profits? Are they government organizations? Are they what organization are we talking about here? And what are they competing at? Like what I'm gonna go with neutral and sure because I have no idea what that's even asking. People who disagree with my ideas should be eradicated. No, this sentence angers me. That's funny. That's like the are you a commie or a fucking fascist? Like that's the who would say that, or a monarchist. People who claim that they respect all opinions are likely lying. Yes, I'd go further. Of course, most people who say they respect all opinions don't mean it, and they're lying out their ass. And they respect all opinions until they hear yours, and then they don't. Um, yeah, it is important to maintain our ideology. Well, my ideology, sure, I go further. The world of 1984 seems workable for me. George Orwell's book, 1984. No, this sentence angers me. Uh, every off-compass ideology is equally based. Ha 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 ha! Every off the political compass ideology is equally based. No, some are more based than others. No, no. Well, I'm not a centrist, but some are more based than others. Censorship and propaganda are censorship and propaganda spending is a waste of money. Mm, I'd go further. My ideals are great. I'd go further. It's a waste of time to try and create unities between multiple ideologies. Mm, no, I think libertarians and conservatives can work together on some things. Liberals and progressives have to be able to work together on some things. I think so. It's not a total waste of time because we can agree on some things. So, um, mostly no. There are a few exceptions, but mostly no. I think. Wait, did I answer that right? It is a waste of time. It is okay. So yeah, I was right. Mostly no. Um, mostly you should be doing that. Even when protesting a totalitarian government, nukes are not acceptable. Eh, nukes. I'd go further. Yeah, you don't want to nuke anything. Individuals. The individual has no power. Well, I mean, is this talking about like is that a true statement, or is this talking about do you agree with that statement? Because I disagree with the idea of that statement. I disagree with the idea of the individual having no power. But is it do you agree with the idea of that, or is it do you think that's pans out, or do you think that's correct? Because I don't think the individual has any power. Do I believe that should be the case? No, I disagree with that being the case, but I think that is the case. Um, so the individual has no. I'm gonna say that they are talking more about the idea of the individual having no power rather than does it or does it not. So I'm gonna go with um, sentence angers me. Only the community or collective can make a change, not the individual. Wrong. Individuals can always make changes. Sentence angers me. Monitoring people's everyday lives produces stability and prosperity. Sentence angers me. The fact that people are egoistic and accepting is what we should do. The fact is people are egoistic and accepting is what we should do. I go further. Governments are spooks. Oh no. What does that? I I vaguely know what spooks, spook, a spy, spook slang. Um. Oh, so for it's a slang for somebody who's like an informant or whatever. Like governments are spooks is basically saying like, oh, governments are like spies, like they spy all the time on people. Um, if I think correctly, um, yeah, I guess if that's the correct interpretation, I'd go for it. We should kill a person rather than convincing them if they strongly disagree with us. Uh, that's like a straight up fascist, uh, communist, monarchist opinion. Oh, you have insulted the king. Like off to the gallows with you, into the dungeon. Like no, you have insulted His Majesty, Royal Highness, whatever. No, I'm not that. We should. Okay, so no, we should not. Um, government surveillance is necessary as air or water. Oh, it's like no. Nope, makes me angry. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. I'd go further. Propaganda creates patriotism, which is beneficial to the nation. Um, I honestly want to mostly agree. All authorities should not be questioned. Oh, should not. Oh, should not. Because the other quiz has it should. This one says should not. Um, no, it angers me. We should question every authority. All that. We should bring back empires. Uh, monarchical empires were not a good idea. I'm just saying, no, it kind of angers me a little bit. I don't see a problem with stealing. It depends on why. If you're a homeless person trying to feed yourself, or you have a mother with some kids and you need to feed to eat, then there's something to be said about that. So mostly disagree with some caveats. The very concept of the nap is unworkable. NAP is a non-aggression principle for any of you that are wondering. I'm not one of the libertarians that believes in the NAP. There's some that do, some that don't, and I'm one of the ones that doesn't. I think sometimes you need to be aggressed upon. Um, A, for the protection of the environment in all forms, even if it's whether it be the birds or fucking Bob Smith. You know, Bob Smith's drinking water is brown one day, and the other day it was green, and he fucking has lead poison. Like, so I think the very concept of the nap is unworkable. Um, mm, mostly it is unworkable. The modern societal hierarchy is a spook. Oh, a spook is like a joke. Oh, that makes more sense now. Oh, it's a joke. It's like, is it a joke? Is it like stupid and dumb? The modern societal hierarchy. Um, modern societal hierarchy. Modern. Mostly with a few exceptions. Our mortal bodies will be incapable of many tasks in the near future. No, not really. And the strong should dictate who we are. This is a very Darwinist question. Are you survival of the fittest? Are you hashtag Darwin gang? I think I'm on board with hashtag Darwin gang, but not fully on board. I, I'm like Darwin gang adjacent, so mostly agree with a few caveats. Combatocracy is better than our current system. I've oh, I already looked it up once. Combatocracy. Combatocracy is almost exclusively seen in the realm of fiction, being government such as Black Panther, the Crystal, and Pokemon. Really? Combatocracy is only which is the form of government in many Viking societies. It is a real-life monarchical combatocracy. So basically, advocate for a system of government in which the leader is chosen by trial by combat. So whoever's the best at combat, That was how a lot of Viking leaders were chosen. Not all of them, but some. Um, Particularly in Denmark. I know Norway and Sweden had different systems. Combatocracy is better than our current system of government. No, not really. Ever since the Renaissance, society has head to the wrong direction. Ever since the Renaissance, boy. Oh man. Oh. Ever since the Renaissance. The Renaissance. Damn, boy. Ever since like 1390 something. Jeez. Ever since like the Renaissance started in like 1395 or 13 whatever it was and went to like 1500s, right? Gee, most certainly disagree. One of these. Yeah, yeah. Modern wars are far more meaningless when compared to medieval wars. Far more meaningless? Ah, hmm. Mm, I don't know. Compared to medieval, I don't think so. I don't know. What do I know? Modern wars are far more meaningless. I think modern wars have the power to just end humanity. Medieval wars didn't really have that. Like, medieval wars didn't really have that. Modern wars are far more. So I would go this sentence English. Yeah. We should continue enjoying life and use modern technology since an invention in the future would fix climate change anyway. What? We should continue enjoying life and use modern technology since an invention in the future would fix climate change anyway. So it's basically saying, we'll invent something to solve climate change, so what does it matter? That's what it's saying here. Um, I wouldn't mind if we took a step back, to be honest, and just been like, nah, this technology thing, I mean, it's fine and it's cool and we should still use it, but let's just unplug for a week, 2 weeks, you know? Let's just kind of, unplug. Let's just take a step back. If you can afford it, just unplug. We continue like modern all since intervention in the future with climate change. Anyway, we should continue enjoying life, and use modern technology, since an invention in the future would fix climate change anyway. Mm, no, we should be more. Happiness is more important than economic development. They're sort of the same thing though. But if I had to separate them out, then yeah, happiness is more important, I would say. Because, I don't know, mostly because society was better centuries ago than it is now. Centuries ago. Not really, no. Culture is a spook. No. An aggression principle, the opposite of the NAP, should be used in society. So it's not the NAP, it's the AP. Ah. No. Angers me too. Capitalism is a good system because it lets the fittest survive. Yep, I'd go further. Just like how certain species go extinct in evolution, some ethnicities may die, and that's normal. I don't like the idea of this necessarily. I think that certain cultures that are dying or dwindling and languages that are dying and dwindling need to be protected in their countries. Um, like, I can think of Breton as an example, or Welsh, or Irish, or Cornish as examples. There's some Chinese dialects I know. The Ainu language in Japan is one. Let's see, Icelandic. Even though Icelandic is the national language of Iceland, people are just speaking English. Um, Dutch is another one that like people just speak English, like whatever, like. So there's some languages that like various Amazonian tribal languages that are dying in favor of Brazilian Portuguese. So I would say, just like how certain species go extinct in evolution, some ethnicities may die in that. No, species can go extinct. Ethnicities, no. So the species go some ethnicities. That angers me. Happiness should be the core value of every human. There shouldn't be a core value of every human. They should be able to have whatever value they want. So happiness can be a core value if you wish, but not if you don't. You don't have to have that. You shouldn't be forced to. So no, not necessarily. Hey, so let's see our results. Economic axis: altruity versus avarice. Avarice 83.3%. Social Darwinism. Okay, that makes sense. Diplomatic axis: ideological pacifist. 62.5% insular versus 37.5% dominant. Oh, I got 16.7% altruity, by the way, on this other one. 37.5% dominant. Okay. Civil axis: selfist. 89% self, 11% totality. Societal axis: sensible. 44.6% stalwart, 55.4% hedonic. Individualist egoism. Hey, individualist egoism. Got it. How long have I been recording for? Oh, 27 minutes? Oh. Well, then I'll do the other thing. So I'll 8Dreams results. That's fine. And then I'll do the other two because I went over them already. The Orwellian, Darwinist, egoist, this futuristic. I didn't get results on this thing, but I do want to do that. So I'll do the 8 Dreams compass test. Postmodernism is a bad ideology that aims to remove meaning and existence. I go further. I'm gonna do this one a little faster because I already did another test. So to keep it all in one video, monitoring people's everyday lives. So I'm not gonna give like any of my reasons or explain stuff a lot this time. Monitoring people's everyday lives produces stability and prosperity. This sentence angers me. I should be able to control my own property. I go further. Even when protesting in a totalitarian government, nukes are not acceptable. Nukes are not acceptable. I'm gonna say them only in the I'd go further or anger me this time. I'm gonna stick to those and see what I get if I just go I'd go further or anger me. I'd go further. Even the right house with an app is unworkable. I would say I'd go further. My life in the Middle Ages was significantly better. Angers me. Bad circumstances of the weak are a result of their own actions. I go further. Letting society function on a personal interest boosts. I go further. A collectivist utopia has been proven to be unsuccessful in the past. I go further. Governments are spooks. I go further. Humanity as a species should not have existed. That angers me. The transition from amniotes to mammals was an incorrect move. What? So you're saying you don't like mammals? Mammals shouldn't have existed because dinosaurs. Because dinosaurs were better than mammals. No. Angers me. I like mammals. I'm a mammal. Basic utilities like knowledge and air should be publicly owned. Angers me. Cultural culture itself is a form of peer pressure. Angers me. Totalitarian figures, if morally correct, are good things. Angers me. All individuals should be questioned to see if they are lords. Angers me. Inheritances lived before I go further. Transhumanism should be implemented to combat future technology. Transhumanism. Transhumanism set of. Oh, so it's like implants and stuff. And like, oh, we turn humans into like cyborgs. Sentence angers me. Theft should be considered a victimless crime. It depends on what it is. I would say mostly agree. Or sorry, mostly agree. Here, but we're going for the I'd go further because we're going only I'd go further or the sentence angers me just for the last, just for a hoot. Individuals have no value of their own. And it angers me. Humanism was wrong. We should appreciate work done by robots instead. Sentence angers me. The idea of property itself is selfish. Angers me. The world 1984 is an idea that ideal that would work. Angers me. Ever since the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, humanity has headed in the wrong direction. Ever since the Renaissance and the Enlightenment. You could argue Renaissance, but Enlightenment, I like the Enlightenment, but the Renaissance, you could argue, was a bit like, poopy. But the Enlightenment, I like. Um, every ever since the Renaissance, I don't know, cause I'm torn. Like I answered the opposite on the last part of this video, but I don't. See, cause I don't know. I mean, I would say ever since the fall of Rome. Uh, uh, ever since no, ever since. Well, I'm a pagan, so ever since whenever Christianity was, ever since Emperor Constantine, until the Enlightenment, and then the Enlightenment went in the right direction. Um, I'm gonna go angers me. Modern wars are far more meaningless than medieval wars. Angers me. The only community or collective can make change, not the individual. Angers me. My information, my choices go further. If a member of society refuses to share their property, violence angers me. Technological advancement will soon destroy humanity. Destroy? What does that mean? Like, not literally destroy humanity, but like metaphorically, like we'll be a shell of our former selves, kind of thing, or does it mean literally and not metaphorically? If they mean literally, then no. But if they mean metaphorically, then sure. But I'm gonna say that it's literally probably. So I'm gonna say no. The modern societal hierarchy is a spook. Or further, only the community or collective can make change, not the individual. Um, angers me. Calling people with their beliefs spooks is an unhelpful thought. uh, uh, I don't know why that's so funny to me. Spook. Spook. Just the word spook. Eeny, meeny, miny. No, I think some people are just stupid and they need to be called spooks. There should be competing world organizations. Mm, I no. Second Amendment of the United States Constitution to expand I go. We should build a planetary wall to avoid Martian invasion. No. A surgery should be done to remove humanity's painless. A surgery should be done to remove humanity painlessly to avoid genocide in the future by robotic life. No. Unjust civilization should be toppled by nuclear. No. We should kill a person rather than convince them. No. The idea of currency self. No. And 1984 is capitalist prop. No, it's not. It's the truth. Rather than frustrating about global warming, we should just wait until technology solves the problem. No, we should just. Ancient Egyptians did a huge mistake by combining upper and lower kingdoms. Huh? Well, it allowed the flourishing of Egypt, I guess. And I think, honestly, it was fine. No. Humans will be replaced by our own inventions, and there's no escape. Disagree. The fact is, people are egoistic and accepting of, yep. People who claim that knowledge is private are selfish. And no, it angers me. There's no reason to weaken the strong since they were, yeah. So I went for only, like, I'd go further, or, like, this sentence angers me response. I am off the compass. I am off the compass. I am an egoist Darwinist. I'm a primal egoist Darwinist. Basically, what this means is my primal score is just about as low as you can get, meaning I do believe the past was, generally speaking, better. Darwinist. The past, as far as now, again, I'm not talking about like quality of life or anything. Quality of life was better now. I'm not talking about quality of life. I'm talking about as far as their values, their beliefs, their morality, what they believed in, as far as like what they believed in as far as what right versus wrong. Not necessarily like they believe some kooky ass shit, like let me tell you. But as far as like what they believed to be right and wrong, like this is moral, this is unjust, this is just. I think yeah. Orwellian egoistic. Okay, so yeah. Now, if I answered them, I mean, I answered them accurately to my beliefs, but if I had delineated more and done, not, all strongly, you know, all, I'd go further, or all this sentence angers me responses, I'd be probably somewhere up like here, I would say, or here, somewhere in that. But since I answered it that way, I'm off the chart, and then that. Alright, so that was the 8 Dreams test. So 8 Dreams, I'll put a link in the description. I don't know if I put a link in the description for the other ones, but yeah, you get a link. You get a link. You get a link. Everybody gets a link. What is this, Oprah? Anyway, all right. So that was the 8 Dreams. I will post it up and yeah. See ya. Peace.